Hello everyone, and welcome back to Summer Dental Glow. Today's video is truly special because we're joined by someone who inspired generation of dental students from around the world. He's a global leader, educator, and he's behind one of the most transformative programs for international dentists. Ronald Perry, Tufts International Dental Student International Program Director. Welcome, Dr. Perry.
Well, thanks for having me here.
It's an honor to have you here today.
Quite an introduction.
It's true, and it's not even fair to you, I believe.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Perry, we get a lot of questions and we get a lot of discussions from fellow classmates from outside of the U.S. who's been with us in our universities, or we've met through conferences and many other occasions, asking us about the application process and asking us about this program. And they mostly want to know, what inspired you to give so much of your time and your career into this program and into international students program?
Well, I've been involved in academia all my life and in private practice. So I'm a practicing dentist, so real life situations, I see the trials and tribulations out in the real world, and I also see it in academia. But being in academia, I've had a lot of experience with research, and I got to travel around the world. I used to do over 100,000 miles a year and traveled probably most of your countries. And I got to see a lot. I got to really interact with a lot of people, and I saw some of the problems that they were having getting into schools and things of that nature. And I also saw how the changing dental market is happening around the world, not only in the United States, but around the world, but especially with DSOs. Because right now we're at about 40% of all dental practices are DSOs. In the next 2 years, maybe even less, will be over 50%. And with that being said, a lot of dental students are graduating, not just international, we're talking regular dental students too, and they have to get a job. Because it's not just get into a dental school, you got to get out of the dental school, and what are you going to do?
The challenges of the real world.
So as you do that, they try to get a job, and I see corporations, actually some corporations, not all, but some corporations taking advantage of dental students or dental new graduates, let's put it that way. Whether you've been a dentist or not, it's a totally different beast when you're out there by yourself. So I try to guide people and try to help them and give them my experience, because I've been on both spectrums of it, from being an associate to owning a practice to buying it back and selling it and all that, and then having a license in 3 different states. So I've had a lot of experience, and I'm an associate now. So I think
Wonderful.
That's something that can give back.
Very inspiring, Dr. Perry. So speaking about those challenges, Dr. Perry, so many of the international students, when they come to the US, they do face these challenges. And some of them actually have fears from starting the program because of thinking of those challenges. So from your experience after many years, what do you think is the most common challenge international dentists face when they come to the US?
Well, I think you kind of hit it. I mean, you're coming to a strange country. You're coming with a different language, different food, different people,
culture.
different attitudes, everything's different. Everything's not the norm. So you have to change, you have to adapt. It's really important to create a network. And what I try to do in my program in particular, and I'm not speaking for all programs, but I can speak definitely for my program, and we try to make it a family. And it's really, really important that everyone connects as a family, because you have obvious strengths that someone else doesn't have, and vice versa. And it's really important that the IS can lean on each other and learn from each other, and that really helps them get through it.
Yes, and I think that's the beauty of the program. We here come from many different countries, in our program around maybe 30 countries, and it seems as this is the essence of the program, where we all get to unite and learn from each other and learn from each other's experience. So I think it adds a lot of value to the program. So Dr. Perry, talking also about the challenges, what do you think of the many online resources sometimes that are found that to some extent can take advantage of international students or international dentists, because they don't know much about the application process, the CAPIT, the PASS, and they pay hundreds of dollars just to get a letter of recommendation format or a personal statement, which in some cases it can be repeated. So what do you think of that?
It gets me angry. It really gets me angry, because I find that not only are they getting taken advantage after they graduate, they're getting taken advantage before they even get into a dental school. Yes. And I hear all these people out there talking about what programs they're looking for, or what Dr. Perry's looking for. Well, I can tell you what I'm looking for, and better than anybody else.
But
it's really important that they they have someone that can really help them along. And that's why I started doing some of these podcasts, because I thought it was useful information, because I get the same questions over and over again, and I wanted to really set the record straight to make sure that they're getting accurate information, something that could be useful, nothing that's going to be thrown away. You don't have to spend money to join my podcast. You don't have to do any of that. It's all free, but I'm going to give you, hopefully, really insightful ways of getting into dental schools.
Yes, and Dr. Perry, we really thank you for those podcasts, because it seems as this is the resource that students now should focus on, because you're actually giving the most important information free of charge. And I'm really an advocate for opportunity and free learning for students, especially international dentists who come to the country and they have problem with resources and adjusting and getting to know the country. So paying hundreds of dollars just for evaluation or for personal statements that probably have been repeated many times for many other students, well, while they have the chance to look at your podcast and to learn more from it, I think that's a great initiative from you, Dr. Perry, and I'm sure it's going to help transform a lot of the international dentist way of thinking or approaching this
I hope
process. So Dr. Perry, one of the most common questions we get is, my transcript has been perfect. I did volunteering, I did research, I got a high GPA. Why was I not chosen? So what separates a student when it comes to selection to get to next level? What are the things that you look for in an applicant and make them get through?
I want to find out who you are. I don't want to find out what you paid someone to write for you, or ChatGPT did for you, to write for you, or any other type of bot program. I want to know you. And the only way I can find out who you are and what your story is, because your story is unique. It's not like anybody else's. And then people say, well, I did everything you said. My grades are good. I did a good TOEFL score. I did a great personal statement. Why didn't you pick me?
Exactly.
Well, let's put the math. I have 40 spots, and I get over 2,000 applications for 40 spots. I look at all 2,000 applications, and then I break it down. But what people fail to realize is that they don't look at the big picture. I'm looking at it as a whole, while other individuals are looking at it individually. They say, well, I got everything. I should get in. I have everything. But you may have everything, but you may be one of 300 other people that have the same things that you have. And now I have to sit there and go, okay, how do you fit into the whole program with everybody else? How do you fit in, whether you're from Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Venezuela, Cuba, or Mexico, wherever you may be in the world, how do you fit all together? And what are your strengths that you're going to bring to the program and bring to each other? And then bring the diversity, because that's where you're going to grow. It's not the dentistry. It's not just the dentistry. It's the whole cultural experience. And that's what I'm trying to bring about.
I see. So that makes me also think of another question, which is, what are some of the red flags, though? Some of the things that you would like to warn students about that may reduce their chances of moving forward?
Be humble. Be humble. I have a lot of people that have great credentials. They're fantastic. But they come across arrogant, and they let their egos get in the way. And if you want to get into a program, you really have to kind of swallow your ego in some respects, and you have to be willing to open yourself up to learn. If you're not willing to open yourself up to learn, because I'm still learning, and I've been practicing a lot longer than some of you guys, and I'm still learning every single day. Not only am I learning from my own mistakes because I'm in private practice, but I'm learning from students. How did you get there? How can I make it better for you? How can I make it corrected? How can I make you better than what I am? That's really the goal. So,
Dr. Perry, another question that we typically get all the time is GPA. We hear that the program looks at you as a holistic approach and judges you based on a holistic approach, but still people fear applying because of their GPA. What do you think about that?
I love underdogs. I do love underdogs. However, does a GPA, am I going to look at a GPA? Yes. Am I going to look at your TOEFL score? Yes. But that's not the end of my story. Maybe some admissions people will look at it, but I'm a little different. I like to look at you as a whole. So why did you have a low GPA? Did you have a death in the family? Did your grandmother die? Did your mother or father die? Were you in a war? Did you have to go to a different country to finish your dental school? Were you sick during that time? Did you show progression on how you got better. And if you do have a low GPA because, let's face it, you were having a great time and you really weren't really dedicated to it, did you do something to take a program in the United States, maybe a master's program of something of interest to you that shows progress, that shows that, yeah, hey, I can do the work. I've grown, I've matured. Those are the people I'm going to look at.
Yes. So Dr. Perry, where do you see the future of dentistry heading?
Oh, it's changing. It's changing dramatically. And, you know, I've been practicing 38 years. And after 38 years, I mean, I don't use anything I use in dental school. I don't use anything like the same bonding agents, the composites, everything has changed. For you guys, and now I'm using all the newer technologies, all the CAD/CAM technologies, all the AI. However, it's going to change even more dramatically for you because that's going to become more and more prevalent. So you have to be smarter. And that's what I do in my program. I try to instill upon the students to let them think outside the box. It's really important to develop them not only as dentists, but what are you going to do after you graduate? Exactly. A lot of people don't forget to think about it. It's like, yeah, get into a dental school, get into a dental school, get into a dental school, but then I graduate, and then what? They don't think beyond it. It's like, do I want to own my own practice? Do I want to just be an associate? What's my quality of life? Does my significant other want to be part of that? Do they want to live in the city? Do they want to live in the suburbs? If they're not on the same page, as they say, if mama or papa is not happy, you're not going to be happy. So we got to make sure everything gels. And how do I do that? I bring in outside people. I bring in attorneys. I bring in insurance people. I bring in bankers. I bring in experts in their field to help. I bring in different DSOs. I'm not advocating any particular DSO, but I bring them in because they help give you answers that you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, I feel like these are very helpful tools because it helps us prepare and to look for what's ahead of us. What do we want to do, like you mentioned? Because it's true, Dr. Perry, when we're coming from outside, we're only thinking about, I want to get in. And that's the ultimate goal because we think that's going to change our life. But you want to get in, but you also want to have a plan. You want to understand the system. You want to understand how dentistry goes, and you also want to have a vision of what you want to have in your life. So, Dr. Perry, if you could share one message with every international dentist watching us today that they're doubting themselves, what would you tell them?
Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, how am I going to believe in you?
That's very powerful.
Seriously. I mean, your story is you, okay? You need to be genuine. If you're lying to me or you're coming across as a phony, I'm going to pick it up. I may not pick it up right away, but anybody that gets in the program has to come through me, no matter what. Now, I rely on a lot of faculty members to do part of the interview process just to really set the record straight that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And I really just need you to be yourself. If you're not yourself, I don't want you. I personally don't want you. You may be great in another program, and that's great, but I don't want you.
And it will be very difficult for them even to fit in the program. Like
exactly.
We said, the spirit of the IS program is in the family of the IS program.
Exactly.
On a positive note, can you share a story of a candidate who really inspired you, or an interview that you felt like that was actually inspiring?
Oh, there's been so many, but I have to remember, well, I'll bring it back to your original question because it's been getting me thinking about it. I have a low GPA. What can I do? Why can't I get in? Well, I had one individual, and this goes back 5 years ago now. She was from India, actually, and she had a low GPA, and I was like, everything else was on her resume was spectacular. I mean, like, she did a lot of community outreach. She had everything else was like stellar, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? Why is this so low? I started digging into it a little bit, and as I dug into it, I found out that she was actually sick. Oh. She had a pancreatic attack, and she had had to have operations and all these other things, and her GPA went down. But then I followed it over the course of the dental school, and it actually started going up. Oh. I took the chance on her because I really believed in her, and I just had a feeling for it. And as she came into the program, she became one of the best students in the program.
How inspiring, truly.
So it can be done. It's a, you have to apply yourself. Dental school's not easy. It's not cheap. It's not easy. If you're not going to apply, if you think you have the old bad habits that you had before, you got to change it. You have to work in a team. You can't be a loner. If you're not going to be a family team member,
it's going to be very hard.
It's going to be hard.
Yes, it's a rigorous program, and it requires also dedication as well as support for each other as a team. And I've witnessed that myself as an IS student. I felt the journey went so much better than I expected because of my classmate, because of the spirit we had, and also because of the mentorship, Dr. Perry. It's something sometimes we lack in other programs where we come from, but here I feel like this is one of the other things that adds great value, is that you have the chance for mentorship. And that brings me again to your channel, Dr. Perry. Can you tell us more about your new podcast channel? We want to hear about that.
Well, I started the Dr. Perry podcast, and it has 11 episodes right now, and I'm hoping to grow it. But basically it goes from everything from start to finish, everything from how do you apply, what you do on your application before you submit the button and hit that submit button.
Have the tips and tricks and
all the little tricks and tips. I go through what you do on a bench test. I go through how you interview, what to be looking out for in the interview, how you interview, and all those other things. I even go down to financial aspects of how you pay for dental school. What are some of the tricks and tips of that? So I go through a litany of different things, of every possible conceivable question that you can have. Everything down to how do I write my essay, how do I write a CV, everything. So I'm hoping it's been getting some very good feedback, positive feedback, so people are liking
definitely,
it.
I think this will answer questions that we get lots and lots of questions through our YouTube channel, Instagram and TikTok, and I believe guiding our audience to your page will help answer those questions, especially now that you mentioned the financial aspect that a lot of people ask about. So we're going to have Dr. Perry's YouTube channel link on the page. You can follow him there, and you can ask your questions on the page and get the answer that you've been looking for from the source. If this interview inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We're going to have Dr. Perry's podcast link on our page where you can follow him. Thank you, Dr. Perry, for joining us. And thank you for everyone who was part of today's podcast. Until next time, keep believing, keep learning, and keep smiling.